The camera is basically in the sunlight. That means the sun's on me, but it also means I can't see you. Hello, it is Monday, February 3rd. I have time off, and I'm making bread, baguettes, and I thought I'd film it. I just wanted to let everybody know that if you didn't catch any of the steps, that's just fine, because I'm putting it all on Google Docs. So, flour, that's all I've got out right now. Salt is somewhere. Salt is over on the Metro rack. Yeast, water. Baguettes are the easiest thing ever. They just require a lot of time because you have to set them to rise. The camera is kind of stationary because it is plugged in. Because I forgot to charge it. I'm brilliant. It is way too hard to find a jar this small in a fridge that big. Okay, so I have my yeast, lukewarm water, 1 cup. And now I've got my measuring spoons. 1 tablespoon yeast, 2nd teaspoon yeast, 1/2 teaspoon yeast. Stir it gently, and then you let it sit. Basically, yeast is alive, so it will do its thing if properly activated, and it's activated by warm water. So you take the cup and you scrape it off with the back of a knife. 1 cup flour, 4. Okay, salt. Salt is still over here. 1. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a thin foam across the top. And that's how you know the yeast is working. You make a well in the middle of the flour first, like a big empty area, and push all the flour out to the sides. And then you pour this in. Now in the middle, there's like this little pit of water with flour. You mix in a tiny bit of flour, just to make it a bit of a pasty kind of thing. Or, well, enough to make it a bit of a pasty kind of thing. Cover it with a clean dish. So our bowl is ready because the timer is rung and it's been 20 minutes. And now, I'll show you this. Anyway, so it looks kind of spongy and that's kind of how we want it to look. So little by little, pour in the last 1/2 cup of water and stir in the flour. Just mix it all up. It's going to definitely look like you don't have enough water at first. You just continue working on it, stir it up a bit more until most of the flour is incorporated, and then you start kneading it. You want to knead it until it becomes elasticy and not sticky. Then you set it to rise with the same dish towel over it. Except when you set things to rise, you want to get the dish towel a bit damp. You let it rise for like 2 hours or so until it's like doubled in size. I'm kneading it inside the bowl because I'm a lazy twerp and don't want to have to wipe off my counter when I'm done. It has finally become one big mass, but it is not elasticy yet. It's currently sticky, and that's kind of common for it to be sticky at first and then get not so. You guys probably haven't met June, but you can see her back there. She's about 4 months old. You get the point? Looks a bit like this. Not sticky. We're good. So the dough has risen and has been punched down. Then you divide it into 2 different lumps. Each lump becomes 2 baguettes. I only have 1 baguette pan, so I'm using 1 lump right now. So make your dough into a long skinny thing, just with your hands. So you get it like that in the pan. Divide that in half. So make them kind of rounded on top. Then let them sit for 5 minutes. And when the 5 minutes are over, you cut little slits in the top. In the meantime, there is a skillet of water heating up on the stove. And you put the skillet of water in the bottom of the oven, and then you put the bread in while it's still cold. And then you turn the oven on. I'm going to show you the setup inside the oven in a minute. Here's my knife. Slitting it. Putting it in the oven. That's the setup inside the oven. There's the bread, the pan of water below it. The steam from the water makes the crust be a crust, basically. So if you followed all these instructions perfectly, you have just made bread.